Global rating agency S&P has reaffirmed India's status as one of the world's fastest growing economies. According to a report by S&P Global Ratings, India's GDP is likely to grow at 6.7% for the next 3 years. The report puts the growth rate this year at 6%, with a sharp bounce back to 6.9% in the next 2 fiscals. The report says this growth rate will be the highest in the Asia-Pacific region. Importantly, the report says that RBI is expected to cut interest rates early next year, with inflation in India softening to 5% this financial year from 6.7%. The report at the same time has lowered China's GDP growth estimate to 5.2% from 5.5% this year. Tata Group may soon end a 19-year IPO drought with not just one but 2 fresh public issues. Tata Technologies has filed draft papers with Sebi for an IPO by way of pure OFS. The company's promoter, Tata Motors, will offload 81.1 million shares. Tata Capital Growth Fund and Alpha TC Holdings are the other shareholders selling stake in the company. Total shares to be offloaded through the OFS are 95.7 million. Importantly, this application follows the approval of another Tata Group company IPO, that of Tata Play, last month. These will be the first public issues by Tata since TCS went public in 2004. My colleague Sakshi Batra spoke to Rajesh Agarwal of AUM Capital to find out what these opportunities mean for investors.
So nearly 20 years it has taken after TCS, which we had seen back in the year 2004. And, this major tech behemoth has actually turned out to be a great wealth creator for investors over these last 20 years. We've seen the company as one of the best wealth creators with a market cap of nearing 12 lakh crore rupees. Help us now understand, what do you really expect from this big Tata Tech IPO that's soon expected to hit street?
This is a very special issue, I would say, a long-awaited issue for the investing community as such, because after 2 decades there is an IPO from a reputed firm like Tata's, and everybody is so excited because, as we all know, that almost all the companies, if not all, almost all of them have given good returns. They have been consistent wealth creators, I would say, in the last so many years. If you look at TCS or Tata Motors or Tata Consumer, every stock has given good returns to investors. And I think this issue will be taken in a very good way by the investors at large, provided the price band, which has not been announced as yet, would be in a reasonable manner.
Yes. So, Mr. Agarwal, how soon do you expect Tata Tech IPO to now hit street, and what could exactly be the size of it? If you could also give us a ballpark figure of what is your own expectation?
See, as far as time horizon is concerned, I think it won't take more than 2 months to hit the market, because I think the management would also be like to be in the market in as soon as possible, I would say. And as far as the quantum of the size of the IPO is concerned, see, basically they are offering 95.71 million shares, right? So today's price in the unlisted market, I have checked, is around 950 odd rupees. So that's roughly 9,000 odd crores. But this is just a ballpark figure.
Sure.
Based on what the price is trading at an unlisted market, I can't be very sure about on this.
Sure, absolutely. Taken that point, fair point right there. But just like how I was pointing out, the last IPO that had hit street from the Tata Group was back in the year 2004, TCS. And we've seen the kind of wealth generation that it has done over the last 20 years. It has emerged as the tech behemoth for sure. Can Tata Technologies be also an IPO which could create massive wealth for investors over the next long term? And is this something that investors should definitely consider for including in their portfolios?
Of course, yes. The performance of the company has improved in the last 2-3 years, I would say. Margins has improved from 16% in FY20 to 19.2% in the 9 months gone by. 9-month revenue was around 3,000 odd crore. 9-month bottom line was around 330 odd crores. Full year EPS, it was 10.45 paisa for FY22, while the 9-month EPS was 10.04. So we see that consistent improvement in the performance. Previously, when 70% of the revenue was coming from the anchor client, that is Tata Motors. now only 40% is coming from that. So they have diversified their client base also. Now they serve 35 traditional OEMs, tier 1 suppliers, while 12 new entrants are also there. So I think the company is diversifying its client base, not depending on some few clients, and the working is also good. The only thing is the price band. If there's leave something on the table, there would be a listing gain. But for long-term investors, I think that would be a good opportunity.
Okay, so but you did say that, you know, one has to wait for the price band to be revealed right there, and if it is reasonable, then investors will definitely be excited. But is this an IPO that whatever price it comes at, one can still take that risk because it is from the Tata Group and it is bound to give, good returns going forward in the long term? Is that something that you would agree with?
Yes, I agree to it because see, this being a total OFS, I don't think this is going to help any way to increase the performance or reduce the debt or something like that for the company as such. Since it's a total OFS, the existing numbers should be taken as a benchmark. So if that is the case, I think yes, the numbers are pretty good, the fundamentals are sound, and yes, one can go for the IPO. They subscribe to that.